guys, it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. I am very casually sitting on the floor for today's video, and I'm going to put this video in my Midlife Mom Diaries playlist, which I just started. There's 2 videos in that playlist so far, because even though I'm just sitting down to tell you like kind of an experience that I've had in this certain topic, I think it's also something very relevant to being an older adult mom, specifically midlife, which I am. So anyway, very long-winded way to say. Today's video, I am to get real with you guys about making friends and keeping friends as an adult. If you want somebody to give you advice on how to make friends and foster friendships as an adult, I am not the person that you want to come to. That's something that I'm not very good at. And for various reasons, I've not been good at that pretty much my whole life. And so I'm going to tell you a little backstory about why I feel like historically I haven't had the best luck with friends, and then what that leaves me with now at this stage of life where I'm 44. We have older kids. My oldest is 21 or almost 21. My youngest is 15. A little bit of backstory. Part of the reason why I think that I never really had that many friends is because I'm naturally an introvert. I've talked to you guys about this before. I'm very shy in most scenarios. I feel very conspicuous in most scenarios. I'm terrified and have been terrified to look stupid, which even though I don't want to look stupid, I'm sure I probably do most of the time with things that I do and say. And so for those reasons, and being an introvert, I just naturally wasn't the type person to just put myself out there in unfamiliar situations, in unfamiliar friend groups, in sporting events, different activities. I just wasn't that person. But the other part of me that's very confusing to me, that's contradictory to being an introvert, is within certain circles where I feel comfortable, I do have a very strong personality. I have a lot of opinions. I say a lot of what comes to my mind sometimes before I think about it. Apparently, I've said things over the years that people in my family are like, I can't believe you said that to this person that you don't know very well. You know, just situations like that have kind of made me second guess myself now in these situations where maybe I do feel like I can let go and be myself a little bit more. Then I'm starting to overanalyze, well, but apparently the way that I do things and the way that I say things is off-putting to people. So those 2 things, being an introvert and then being very strong personality and then worrying about that personality bothering people, have really crippled me in the friendship department over the years. And then again, going back to being a kid, being a Christian almost my whole life. And I was about 9, I think, when I say 9 or 10, when I was saved and baptized. I learned and knew from an early age that, you know, you really do have to be selective about people that you keep close to you in your life. You're supposed to be nice to everybody. You're supposed to love everybody. And I think I do that well. But you're not supposed to maintain and deliberately seek friendships with people who are morally not people you should be around. The Bible even talks about that, and I did write this down. 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. So now we have 3 things kind of working against me in the friend category. But I really feel like the main thing that contributed to was just me not putting myself in situations where I could be liked by people. And then again, as I said, my strong personality and sometimes my opinions and my unfiltered things that I say, I think turned a lot of people away. But that was all through public school, all the way through college. In my college experience, I lived at home. I didn't live in a dorm, which was by choice. So I didn't have a huge college experience. I only got my associates, so I was only there for 2 years. A lot of my classes, you just kind of went in and you left and you went home and you did your work and you went back the next day and did it all over again. I wasn't involved in any groups or organizations in college. And then I was married by the time I was 23 and had a baby. So there really wasn't a whole lot of adult life that I had where I was in the workforce. And well, I should say, I started being a stay-at-home mom the month before my oldest daughter was born. I wasn't working out of the home and then stayed at home. So again, now we have introvert, strong personality, Christian who doesn't want to have friendships with people, close friendships with people, I should say, and that are not matching me morally. And then now I'm at home 24/7 with a baby. So all of those things kind of contributed and stacked on top of each other, where I didn't meet people. The people that I met were not people that I would personally want to hang out with. They weren't people that I wanted to be around my baby. As a couple, we kind of have the same, my husband and I are kind of the same in that way. We're both introverts. He has a very strong personality too, though. Like, he can do it when he needs to. He can go out and be social, and he's in sales. So that tells you that he can go out and do that and talk to people and hobnob and all that. But he's very much the type of person that wants to either be home or hang out with just his very few select group of friends. So we're alike in that way. And so as a couple and individually, we were very discriminating about the people that we were around and had around our kids. And that did not lend itself well to friendships either. And nothing really changed in my friendship dynamic from the time my oldest was born in 2004 to when my youngest was born in 2010. A few friendships that I did have over that course of time of being a mom and an older adult, they turned sour, just like most every friendship that I've ever had over my lifetime. Because there were little friendships that I had in school, very little, like not anything serious. No best friends, no like super hanging out with this person or calling on the phone or being super close, just kind of casual. You know, you'd hang out with them maybe at lunch if they had the same lunch break as you, and you'd say hey in the hallway, and you know, you may whisper to them in class about like this thing that happened or that assignment, but there really was nothing really beyond surface level. I had a few of those, and then I had a few budding friendships, one in particular in the time between when my oldest was born and now, and those fell by the wayside too. And I don't know why friendships are so hard to make and why they're so incredibly hard to maintain. And I think this is especially true of women with other women. So I don't know, you guys let me know if that's been the case for you. But I see people that say, me and so-and-so have been friends for 20 years, or me and so-and-so grew up beside each other when we were in middle school and we've been friends ever since, and our kids are best friends, and when they hang out. I don't know how people meet those people and seem to find those people. I don't know how that works. And one thing I want to clarify, when I say the stuff that I say that offends people, I make it sound like that I'm just out there saying, I don't like you, and your kid's obnoxious, and your hairstyle's stupid. I'm not saying things like that. It's just, I have a lot of observations, and I tend to say what I observe, whether it's about like, okay, here's a perfect example. And this is really stupid. We were in a co-op a while back, and I was talking to some of the moms in the mom room, and I made a comment about how much I couldn't stand Robert Duvall's acting. I don't know Robert Duvall. He might be nice. He might save bunnies and fallen birds from trees, and he might help the orphans and the widows, and I don't know what he does. I just don't like his personality, and I think his acting is offensive. Maybe you love Robert Duvall, and that's okay. But I said that. We were talking about movies and actors and stuff, and I forgot what movie we were talking about, but I mentioned the fact that I don't like anything usually he's in because he rubs me the wrong way. And the moms stopped and looked at me like he was in the room. And I'm like, do you all know Robert Duvall? Like, why was everybody so shocked that I had this opinion about Robert Duvall? But that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, just saying things like that, or, you know, I tend to try to tell people how to take care of themselves. So, because I care about people. And when I was little, my mom said that I used to tell like strangers, you know, my mommy said you shouldn't smoke, it's bad for you, or whatever. It was just my care of people that I say that about. And that's one reason why I have this channel, because I want to help and let people learn from me and my mistakes or things that I know. And it's part of why I'm here right now talking to you. And it's partly maybe why you're here listening to me, because I do like to share what I feel is right, whether it's health and homeschooling or mom life or Christianity or whatever. I feel like I want to share that with people. I feel burdened if I don't share that with people. And so that's another thing I think puts people off, is like I'll say something about that. Now, I'm not just going to walk up to a random stranger and be like, you should not be vaping because it's bad for you, and this. I mean, I'm not going to do that. But if it's somebody that I halfway know and halfway have any kind of relationship with, I will probably say something at some point like, you know, that's really bad for you. Have you tried to quit? Or you should do this, maybe go do that. You know, I guess that kind of stuff rubs people the wrong way. And so that has perpetuated me getting to the point where I have been now the last over 20 years now, where I don't even bother really anymore to, what is this? I don't really bother anymore to try to make friends, because I don't want to keep going through this process of trying, and it would be trying to meet people, because my lifestyle does not lend me to being out around a lot of people a lot of the time. I'm home a lot, or I'm at the gym. That's it. And I would have to try and make a conscious effort to find people. And then you go through the process of getting to know them, them getting to know you, spending time doing that. And then every time something ends up going wrong, and you end up right back where you were with not having that friendship. That's been my experience. And I don't know, I guess I feel like by getting on here and telling you this and kind of exposing all of my friendship wounds, maybe it will help you to see, if you have the same experience for whatever reasons, that you're not alone, and that making friends is hard. It's hard when you're a kid, and it doesn't get easier. It gets harder as you get older. I am friendly to people. I am nice to everybody. I try my best to not step on people's toes, believe it or not. I try my best to not be obnoxious. Like, I'm always telling the kids, and we've always taught them, like, be aware of who's around you. Are you being loud? Is your phone up? You know, don't have your phone on speakerphone when you're in public. Hold the door open for this person, or say thank you, or smile, or if somebody asks you how you are, ask them how they are back. Like, I'm all about being nice and setting a good example, and trying to show the love of Christ through me. So now that my kids are older, like I said, almost 21 and 15, I do have a little bit more time in my day. Not much. I still have a lot of stuff to do, a lot of things that I'm trying to balance and keep up in the air at all times. We're still homeschooling our youngest, or I am. I have a lot of things going on, but I do have a little bit more time because my kids are not as physically needy and demanding most of the time. They have a lot of their own interests that keep them busy now, where I'm not having to entertain them 24/7. My youngest daughter, we homeschool, and I do have a lot to do with that, but some of her work is very independent at this age. You know, she's in high school, so I'm not having to sit with her all day long and do school. So I do have a little bit more time now to do things that I need to do or want to do. And it's not much time. So what little bit it is, I'm trying to grab onto it and do for myself now what I didn't feel like I had time to do before. And I actually had a whole video about that. It just went up a week ago or so, about, is it too late midlife to focus on yourself and to grow and to improve and change and learn about yourself and all that. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already. But I do have this time now. I am in this stage and season of life where I have a little sliver of time that I can do most of the time what I want to do with. And I don't really want to spend that little bit of time, that precious time that I have and that I have earned to get to this point. I don't want to spend that time doing the friendship Russian roulette again. I mean, is it fear of rejection? Probably a little bit, but it's also because I only want right now at this stage of life to prioritize and focus on the people and the things that I know are lasting. And what I know is lasting is my relationship with God. Jesus is my best friend. He's your best friend too, whether you know it or not. So growing my relationship with him, learning more about him, especially his earthly life, is a goal that I have this year and some years going forward, trying to learn more about his human experience to hopefully help me with mine. So that friendship's not going anywhere. He's not going to betray me, and he's always going to be there for me. Prioritizing that, prioritizing my family. My girls are still home. I still have both my kids home, and I know that is a fleeting thing that I will not have forever. And while they will always be in my life, they won't always be in my home. And so trying to prioritize that and the relationship that I have with each of them individually and the dynamic that we have as a family, that's a priority. My parents, I am lucky enough to have both my parents still here. So, you know, doing things with them, and I talk to my mom on the phone every day, and we see each other usually at least once a week, trying to focus on my prayer life and myself. Taking this sliver of time to make what my kids used to need from me 24/7, I'm giving a little bit of that to me now. And I don't want you to think I'm neglecting my kids. Trust me, I am definitely not neglecting them. I am very present and aware and active in their lives. But I do have a little bit more time now where I can spend it on me, and that's okay. And you guys have seen the results of this the last couple of years if you've been following me. this journey that I'm on to improve myself and grow myself and learn about myself and break old habits that I had and change things about myself that I don't like and add and grow on things that I do like, that I just want to tweak a little bit, and growing healthy habits and discipline in my life and working out in the gym and gaining strength and hopefully training this body that I have to be healthy and flexible and mobile, that I will carry with me as far as I can as I age. All of those things are what I want to prioritize my time on. I don't want to take any little bit of time that I have and focus on growing a friendship at this point that may or may not last. And given my track record with friendships, it won't. As negative as that sounds, that is my experience, and that is the lens from which I am viewing this from. Whether it's correct or not, it has been in my life, my experience, and that's kind of shaping what I do in the future. So maybe one day when my kids are gone and are married and have their own lives, and it's just me and my husband here at home, maybe I will regret this time that I could have been spending to work. And I say work because it is work, to find friends. Maybe I will. And I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, because right now I'm making the conscious choice to focus on what I know is lasting. And not spend time on things that are potentially and more than likely fleeting. I realize this might make me sound really bitter and cynical, and you probably think she sounds like a terrible person. She must not be very nice, and who knows what she's saying to these people. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. Not to toot my own horn. I do think I am very nice, and I am very caring, and I am very loving, and it's why I have a lot of the opinions that I have, because in my mind, I'm helping to take care of people with a lot of the things that I might say that might ruffle some feathers. And time is short for all of us. None of us are promised tomorrow, and none of us are even promised the next second. And so I really truly want to spend that time on my family, God, myself, or any little time that's left over on something that benefits and serves any of those three people, my family, God, or myself. So that's really where I'm at. And the point of these midlife diaries, they may not always be suggestions that I have figured out that I think would be the best thing for you. And clearly in this video, this is one of those where I don't want you to do what I'm doing necessarily. I don't know that it's necessarily the right thing or the right mindset to have, but it's the mindset that I do have, and I wanted to share it with you guys only because I do think that maybe the feelings that I have about friendships and the struggles that I've had with friendships are not exclusive to myself. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that you guys can get in the comments and tell me that you've had some similar experiences and you've had similar letdowns, and you've gotten to the point in your life where maybe you just don't want to spend the emotional time and physical time on that anymore. Maybe that makes it okay for me. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe that makes me feel a little bit more normal and that I'm not the only one struggling with this. But maybe I am. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments. And I know a lot of you guys probably have really good friends and you've had really good relationships. And if you're one of those people, then you are very, very blessed, because it is very difficult. And this is not just me in my life. This is something that I have noticed also, a struggle that I have noticed with my kids. It's a struggle that I've noticed with other people in my family, that I've seen the difficulties that come from trying to make friends, trying to find good friends, good, loving, caring, loyal, truth-worthy friends. I've seen this play out with these people in my life, the same experience that I've had. So I cannot be the only one. And I hope you guys will be as honest with me as you want to be in the comments, as I've tried to be with you. But like I said, this is not me telling you that this is the right way to feel or think. It's not. This is very much my Midlife Diaries series. And so this is kind of my video diary to you of this experience in my life and where I'm at and why I have the mentality about friendships that I do, to maybe make myself not feel as alone, but maybe make you not feel as alone if you've had the similar problems that I have as well. So I know that God created Eve for Adam because he knew that companionship was important. So I know there is value in having friends. I'm sure there's value in taking the effort and the time to find them and foster them. I know that God wants his believers to worship in community, which we do. We're very, you know, faithful about going to church and worshiping with other believers. And God tells us to love everybody. And, you know, I try my best to do that. Some people are a little harder than others. You know, it is a struggle. I'm a sinful human. I have a hard time loving some people because they're just very difficult people and sometimes very sinful, and it clashes with my beliefs. And so it is hard. And that's just the honest truth about being a Christian. Just because the Bible says that we should do it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, because some people are very hard to love. So please don't take this as what you should do and how you should feel about friends. I don't want anybody to think that this is how I think it should be. It's just how it is for me, and it's kind of my perspective on friendships in current day. And as always, Jesus is our best friend. And at the end of the day, if he's the only friend we have, that's good enough. Focus on him and everything else will be fine. So that's my perspective on friendships. I wanted to share it with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. If there is something specific that you want me to sit down and just kind of talk to you about very casually, very just woman to woman, let me know. If it's something that I feel like I have some experience or knowledge about, or both, then I'm definitely open to doing that in another Let's Chat video in the coming months. So let me know if you like that. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share it with anybody that you think might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.